Hello, today I'm going to be reviewing my Portland 3-in-1 electric blower and vacuum mulcher. So as you could tell, I've had this for a while now. It's the springtime, so I'm not using it. You can tell it's dusty from a long season of not being used over the winter. But I saw it, so I figured I'd review it. I'll go over the pros and cons as well as some secret tips that I found for using this. And so, as you could tell, this is a seasonal item, sort of like a snowblower you only use in the winter time. This is something that I mostly use in the fall, so I'm not going to use it a lot until the summer ends and then the leaves start falling. But this is really great because compared to other ones that I've had in the past, this is pretty light. A lot of the weight is here in the back, and this tube is pretty lightweight, so the blower tube is light, so most of the weight that you're going to be holding is going to be here close to your body, which makes it easy to carry and hold for a long time. So depending on the size of your yard, that's going to be a good benefit, is making this easier to hold. One of the downsides to this is pretty much everything that you do with it requires two hands, so it's going to be hard for me to demonstrate a lot of the things fully since I'm holding the camera with one hand, but just know that beforehand. It comes with this bag, and so this has the blowing option, so if you want to blow the leaves into a pile and then put them in a bag, like a garbage bag, you can. However, if you want to suck them up, they will go into this bag. And so the way that works is this bag right here has an end, and you'll notice this little piece right here. And this is important because if you put it on backwards, it's hard to get on. So this is backwards. The hole has to align with this little button here. I've accidentally done it in the past where I put it on backwards. I just was doing it too quick, wasn't thinking about it. When you get it on, it will snap. And if you put it on backwards, you can get it off. If you have two hands, it's pretty easy to do, but it requires some force. Once it's on, if you want to take it off, you just press that, or you can even press here and then just push it. But again, this is one of those things where I need a second hand to fully grip it and pull it off. See, so it's easier to do right there with one hand. But it's incredibly easy to do this if you have two hands. Okay, so keep in mind, once you have that off, if you're in the suck mode, what's going to happen is it's going to come up and it's going to shoot out there. So make sure that your face isn't in the way as you're walking. Make sure it's not facing your body, otherwise you're going to get dirty. So that's a pro tip there. Learn from my mistakes. As you can see here, this is the main toggle. So you have suck and reverse, and then off, and then this tube right here, it's easy to get off. There's an unlock thing here. Again, this is one of those things I'm not going to be able to show. I'll pause and do it. But you press this up, and then once you have this held up with one hand, with your other hand, you're just going to, oh, there we go. It's stuck a little bit. So that's good. All right, so once you take this off, there's a little hook here, kind of wraps around, so you just kind of get that off, and then this closes for you. That's the fan that will suck or blow depending on the setting you have it on. But you can mulch it too, and so that's a nice thing about this, is you can mulch it, and leaves are probably one of the best things that you can put in a garden. So if you have a garden, it's a great thing to do, is to mulch the leaves, put them in your raised bed or whatever, leave it over the winter time. They'll decompose. They'll give the worms a nice place to be insulated from the cold snow. And then when spring comes, your garden's going to be great. So this is really good. I've seen other people complaining that the bag rips after a few years. I've had this a couple years. It's still in pretty good condition, so I can't speak to that. However, if you need replacement bags, you can get them. So if you're someone who has a really large yard, or if you own a company and you're going to be blowing a lot of leaves in the fall time, I would suggest stocking up on replacement bags before you need them, as opposed to waiting till they get torn and needing them. But in my experience, as just a single person who uses this for my own house, not commercially. A single bag has been fine for a few years, and I've had no issues with it. So yeah, overall, it's a really great product. In my experience, this is pretty loud of a device. It's kind of expected with a leaf blower or any kind of power tool that's going to be operating. I forgot to mention too, sorry. This is where it plugs in, so it doesn't operate on battery power. It doesn't operate on gas. I like that it's not gas because I don't have to smell it, and it's not as loud as a gas. So that's definitely a plus. However, that means you're going to need an extension cord, and that means you can only blow as far as your extension cord can go. So again, depending on the location of outlets behind your house or wherever you're doing the leaf blowing, you might be limited in range based on the outlet availability and the length of your extension cord. So if you have a really large yard, you might need a rake as well. So that is one downside to this. So think about the size of your yard and your situation before you purchase it. And then the last thing I kind of forgot to mention is this will handle the mulching. If you're going to be doing mulching, it's a good idea to kind of feed it in through the tube at sort of a controlled rate. You don't want to just shove them in there and then gunk this up, because it will get clogged, right? So you have to unplug it, pull them out. So it's good to just kind of let it suck it up on its own, as opposed to like shoving them in. Just let the machine do the work and you should be fine. Overall, like I said, pretty good. I've really enjoyed it. I have no concerns for this upcoming fall season when I have to use this again, because I know it makes my job a lot easier than a rake, and it smells a lot better and is quieter than a gas-powered one. So with those things in mind, I hope this was helpful for you, and thank you for watching.